How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, where we're at Beach Day. Now, knowing my past experience with visual novels, this is probably going to be a multi-parter. Just gonna guess, because again, like, when things are exciting, I might extend further than usual, but I tend to not want to go too long. For your time, for my time, it's all kind of, you know, it's got to be a perspective. It's got to be something that's in moderation. We don't want to just trample all over each other's time, and it's okay. So we're gonna play, and we're gonna see how this goes. I'm excited. I was guessing that this is going to be a major event that's either going to establish our route, or it's going to be like it's either going to be the branching point, or it's going to be a place where we're going to end up making critical choices that will determine our branching point. So that's just my guess. Again, based on a visual novels I've played in the past. I have no idea. You all are excited though. I've read some of your comments, and while you've been very good about not being spoilery, I do get the impression that I am kind of right about my prediction about the beach session being really important and critical to deciding where we go from here. So, yeah, just quick reminder, I'm going to do one playthrough, one ending for this game. I will play the other endings on my own time, but we're only going to feature one. I think it's really important. I don't get to make content like this by some kind of justice or right. It is I'm allowed to. If the game companies want to, they can hard shut this stuff down, especially because there's a motivation for something that's so spoiler and like character driven that I understand and I totally support. So even if you are, I don't know, against it in a philosophical morality type way, where like, you know, free market, free internet, everything, I understand that, and I know it's frustrating, but just remember, keep in mind, I want to make sure that there's content for other people to enjoy, that I'm not robbing someone the opportunity to play the game on their own terms and be able to have this adventure and stuff. I want to showcase my adventure, and I want to make sure it's an accessible method of doing so. But, you know, there's got to be some boundaries there, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So, whatever we roll, whatever the decisions take us, I think we're going to be happy with them, and I hope you are too, because a lot of you have been very passionate and hoping that I get certain routes, and I am grateful, but some of you are going to have your heart broken, unfortunately, and that's just the life, so just trying to brace everyone. All right, let's get started. Takaki's dere earlier this morning left a strong impression, but there's no time to reflect on the spectacle. The group trip to the beach is today. That was a pretty fun little glimpse into her. What's more, the weather is absolutely perfect for the purpose. Perhaps someone has been earning some good karma lately? As this group gathers around the principal's car in preparation for the outing, there's a definite sense of anticipation in the air. My classmates are moving around restlessly, unable to control their fidgety, nervous energy.
ねえ、このクーラーボックスはどこに積むの？
それはビーチパラソルと一緒に天音さんの車に乗せます。
お弁当はちゃんと積んだ？
はい、大丈夫です。ちゃんとトランクの中に積みました。
I'm guessing this is part of her excitement, but come on, it's Sachi. Everything's packed perfectly. Oh, probably too perfectly. In fact, we should actually be checking to make sure we don't have any other live creatures in the food.
トランクなんかで大丈夫なの？熱で腐ったりしない？
効果が6時間持続する保冷剤と一緒に入れてありますから、問題はありません。
Beautiful.
それじゃあ、あとは何？なんか忘れてない？
大丈夫ですよ。持ち物リストを参照しながら4回確認しましたし、出発前にもう一度最終点検を行いますから。
Don't doubt Sachi.
油断してはダメよ。いい？こういう時に限って一番大切なものを忘れてくる。言うなれば忘れ物の天才がこの私。松島みちるだということを忘れないで。
Can I qualify there too? I'm certifiable genius of forgetting things. I'm pretty good at that.
そんなことを自信たっぷりに元気よく言われましても。
なんだかんだ言って結局チルチルが一番張り切ってるのよさ。
Oh yeah. Well, in my experience, the blondes of the world tend to see this sort of event as a good excuse to boss people around.
そこ聞こえてるわよ。
Yeah. Hello there, Michiru. Tell me something. You don't even want to go to the beach, didn't want to go to the beach in the first place, right?
行きたくないとは一言も言ってないでしょうが。私はただ暑いのが嫌だって言っただけよ。
Alright. Well, I didn't really intend to criticize you either way. If anything, the opposite seems more appropriate. She was opposed to the idea originally, but instead of sulking over the group's decision, she's accepted it with an admirable enthusiasm. I guess she's something of a flexible spirit. That is an admirable quality. I tend to be a brooder, be like, oh, I don't want to do this. And it can spoil what could be fun. No, wait, you approach this from a slightly different angle, and the term simple-minded may be just as accurate.
なんか言った
Don't mind me, just talking to myself. More importantly, are you sure you have all your personal stuff? Not forgetting anything?
この私が忘れ物
Oh,
とんだお笑い種だわね
you were just bragging about your ability to forget. Have you already completely forgotten what you said 30 seconds ago?
いえ、ミチル様のお荷物は昨夜のうちに私がご用意させていただきましたので大丈夫かと。
Yeah, it should be. I see. But you see, Sachi, Michiru earned the title of Scatterbrain Queen precisely because she's capable of leaving things behind even under such circumstances. Are you sure it's wise to have left her unsupervised?
大丈夫よサチに任せた私の判断にミスはないわ
Uh-huh. It honestly, in a normal circumstance, I would agree. Where are your swimming suits? Do you have them? You have them, right?
ああ、それならご心配なく。忘れないようにすでに服の下に着ていらっしゃいますから。
Very wise. Good thinking. The only downside to that, of course, is like if you have to wear like even moderately wet swimming suits in a vehicle traveling back. I always hated that. So like I would probably wear my swimming suit under my clothes, or just wear, because it's a guy, dude. We just do like it's essentially shorts. I just wear them, but then I would have something to change into. I see. Good to hear. Although that kind of sounds more like something Makina would do.
おうよ私も下にセクシーな水着着てるのよさ後で見してあげるのよ
Can we just not do that? That would be fine. Can you just be a quirky little teddy bear and just kind of do whatever you want? Oh, that's something to look forward to. No, it's not!
もうね私のちょっと出っ張った下腹部に視線釘付けで鼻血ブーなのよ
Okay. Just scrub my eyes real quick. Well, that's irrepressible confidence of yours is a good thing. Probably. Yeah, I know, right?
ミチル様どうかなされましたか
サッチその
What?
水着のことなんだけど
Did you not? What happened?
もしかしてミチル様
Hey now, what's the matter, genius? Don't tell me your protege talent for forgetting things has already exhibited itself.
うるさいわねちょっとしたミスよちょっと私寮に戻るからここで待ってなさいよいい先に行ったら承知しないんだからね
Oh, Michiru. Yep, there she goes.
あ、ミチル様待ってください私も行きますからというわけですのですみませんすぐに戻りますので
It's not your fault, Sachi. I'm at a loss for words. Think that girl may even be worse than Makina.
もうさすがの私もあんな忘れ物会の勝ち組と比べられたくはないのよさ
That's true. You are a completely different class of Scatterbrain.
どうでもいいのだけれど一体いつまで私はこの炎天下の中で待っていればいいのかしら
Would you prefer to sit in the hot car? It hasn't even been 10 minutes yet. Bored already? I'll get you a nice ice cream cone once we're at the beach, so try to be patient a little while longer, okay?
私を子供扱いしないでもらえる
Well, maybe if you didn't complain, like, oh, sorry, that was going too far. In that case, maybe she should try not to whine like one. Oh my gosh, he went there! But I decided that actually offering her the suggestion would be more trouble than it's worth. I like I'm on the wavelength. Yuuji and I, we're vibing here. We got this.
あいいなアイス私も欲しいのよさ
All right, Makina, you've been a good girl lately. I'll buy you one later.
いちご味のやつがいいのよ
Good taste. Very well. I dropped my hand onto Makina's head in my usual manner. Well then, Sakaki, what flavor do you want?
だから子供扱いしないでいらないわよアイスなんて
I like that. It really does sound like he's talking to his daughters here, which is just kind of adorably hilarious. By the way, I implied there that I like strawberry ice cream more than like chocolate or vanilla. That would be correct. However, it's still not nearly as superior as pistachio. That is the king of ice cream, and you can't convince me otherwise. I dare you to try. Actually, I don't know. Just don't get too violent about it.
どう？みんなもう準備できた？
Nope, afraid not. The Queen of Carelessness has returned to the dorm in search of her swimming suit, with her maid in attendance. Amane still hasn't returned to the second car either.
変ね。松島さんと小峰さんはまだしも、車を借りに行ったのなら、スオさんはもう戻ってきてもいい頃だと思うけど。何かあったのかしら？
I doubt it. Where is she getting the car from in the first place?
いつもの車を借りに行ったのなら、多分学園北部の資材倉庫だから、そんなに時間がかかる距離じゃないと思うけど。
Maybe she decided to spin some donuts in the big empty field. Should I go check up on her?
そうね。もう少し待ってみて、それでも来なかったら様子を見に行ってみましょう。
Well, there's no real need to hurry, I suppose. The sea isn't going anywhere.
海は逃げないけれど、時間は経過するわ。私嫌よ。夜の海に入るのなんて。
I wasn't planning to wait around that pertinently either, but it's better to approach this sort of thing with composure. Rushing tends to create more problems than it solves.
例えば？
Right, here comes a good example.
あれ？
What the?
着替えてきた！全速力でダンスした！何秒？
It's impressive, but are you sure you want to be just in your swimming suit right now? Michiru?
知るかよ。
Take a look, Sakaki. The self-evidently dim-witted blonde is a perfect case in point. Desperate with the irrational fear that she'd be left behind, she clearly stopped thinking. The instant she finished changing, she burst out of her room and dashed back over here, thoroughly embarrassing herself in the process. You see, when people rush, they make stupid mistakes. Life is just full of lessons.
確かに嫌な説得力があるわね。
Yeah, I mean, it's case in point. I mean, I don't know if it's embarrassing. I mean, here's the thing. She's in her swimming suit that she was going to be in her swimming suit or anyway. I mean, maybe it's just like an odd place to be in a swimming suit, but I don't know if I can say that embarrassing other than the fact that we know she probably didn't mean to do that.
何なのよ。水着着てこいって言ったのはあんたでしょうが。っていうか、私の水着姿見たんだから感想ぐらい言いなさいよ。
Lovely. I actually like the tradition, of course, is like bikinis being cute and adorable and all that stuff. But I think a good one piece can work really well for people, and that one looks really good and it fits her really well. My thoughts? Let's see. My first real thought would be, why are you wearing a school youth swimming suit? But I get the feeling that might not be the most considerate thing I could say here as a man. When a woman asks for your thoughts, complimenting her down any other road lies trouble. Another lesson I picked up from my time with the epitome of a troublesome woman, JB. Looks good on you. Very cute.
ああ、そうかい。ありがとよ。
Why are you mad?
どうして怒鳴っているの？
I don't fully understand myself, but I get the feeling she's been carried along by her own momentum at this point. Poor girl may be already well past the point of no return.
うるさいわね。放っておきなさいよ。とにかく、これなら水着を忘れることはないわ。
I mean, that's fair. She's got a point. I guess not, but what happens with the street clothes you were wearing earlier? You just realized? Are you for real? Sorry, but I don't think I can justify referring to you as a tsundere anymore. You really are more of a soon doofus.
つんぼけ？
I like that one, soon doofus. You are a clown. Makina will now amuse herself at your expense. All right, Makina, look at this girl and chortle heartily.
ゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラ。屈辱。こんな屈辱は初めてだわ。
I'm so sorry.
英語で言うと Oh my god!
The best English response I could have ever expected. Your English hasn't improved either, I see.
ねえ、暑いし、私車の中で待っていてもいいかしら。
Have you been in a car in the heat? It's worse in there. Come now, Michiru's sacrificing what little dignity she has left for our amusement. Why not enjoy her buffoonery a while longer?
いや、別に笑いを取ろうとしていたわけでは。
Can we stop punching her down now, please? I get it. It's funny. It's a joke. But come on. Good job, Sachi.
遅かったじゃないのよ、サチ。
You're gonna complain.
みちる様が早いんですよ。
I mean, I guess props to her for being quick. Now that she mentioned it, you got back here pretty quickly, considering you went all the way to the dorm.
そりゃあそうよ。何せ全力疾走したからね。飛ぶ鳥の目を抜く勢いとはこのことよ。
We're gonna have a chat about what literally means.
なんでしょう。いろいろと間違っていて軽く言いましたが、とりあえず服を着てください。その格好のままでは公女両族に抵触しかねません。
Could it really? I mean, it's clearly a swimming suit. It's someone gonna go past and like, even then, it's a modest swimming suit. Weird. Like, it just might be just one of those like weird, like a reflection of like the cultural oddities. Like maybe in Japan, even this is considered indecent if you're not literally at the water. And heck, maybe that's why they always make such a big deal about it in like media, because it's like, oh, you know, exciting.
いちいちうるさいわね。水着なんだからいいじゃないのよ。人をわいせつ物みたいに。まったく。
まあまあ、私が着替えのお手伝いしますから。
あったわよ。
Even as she mutters a constant stream of complaints, Michiru takes her clothes from Sachi's hands and obediently begins to put them on over her swimming suit. Apparently, she decided resistance would be futile.
だいたい私の格好なんておっぱい半分放り出して歩いてるアマネの普段着に比べりゃまだマシでしょうよ。
You got it. She's kind of got a point. And she's not even being like hyperbolic here. Like, she literally just walks around just hanging free.
そういえば、あまねさんはまだいらっしゃられないのですか？
I also think it's interesting how they didn't correct the sprite to reflect the swimming suit underneath her. Yeah, if she doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm gonna go check on her.
アマネまだなの？んじゃもういいんじゃない？無理してでも学園長の車にみんなで乗れば。
You know what? You can't say that. Imagine how you'd feel if we said the opposite about you. Yeah, I really don't think that's going to happen. The principal's car seats 5 at most. At the very least, one of us will have to ride with Amane, and if we want a more comfortable ride, wouldn't it make more sense to have 4 people in the principal's car and 3 in Amane's?
でもアマネの車は2シーターなのよさ。
Wait, what? Really? 2-seater? A vehicle with a fixed passenger capacity of 2, so it's a sports car? Then might call for this place to be the Money Sink Academy, but it's pretty hard to imagine they'd have a flashy toy like JB's lying around in some dusty garage. The next moment, a single white vehicle comes into view, crunching its way across the gravel and the athletic grounds toward us. Behind the wheel, of course, is Suo Amane, and the vehicle she's driving, no matter how you look at it, appears to be a small truck. Oh, okay, I get that makes sense. Still fun, though. I bet you she was doing donuts. That said, it's not the Type 37 Jeep or anything, just your run-of-the-mill mini pickup. I bet you, how much you want to bet it's not like that 87 Toyota truck that's like, it was meant to be just like a common delivery truck, and it's like become well known as like the most indestructible vehicle ever built. If she comes up rocking aviators, I'll be super happy.
やあ、お待たせ。ごめんね。タイヤの空気圧調節してたら遅くなっちゃった。
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. No, this thing must have been just sitting there forever then. I see. Well, that's a 2-seater too, I guess. I wasn't really expecting her to pull up in a flashy sports car, but a mini truck is surprising in its own way. It's certainly well suited to carry all the beach gear, and it's probably useful for the school to have around, but
軽トラだからと侮っちゃいけないのよ。クラス唯一のスーパーチャージャーを搭載した4気筒 SOHC エンジン。
I don't believe a word of this, because at first I was like, oh, okay, so it's got a decent engine, and a supercharger. I was like, no. And like, the more you go, it's like, no.
フロントグリルに燦然と輝く6連星は WRC で培われたテクノロジーが惜しみなくフィードバックされた証なのよさ。
Oh, the 6 Pleiades, that's the Subaru, right? Like, that's the little star symbol. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be.
あとはデフロックがついてれば最高なんだけどね。
Okay, so you actually serious? The heck are you people talking about? A mini truck is a mini truck, right? But even as I'm slightly belittling the squat little vehicle, something catches my eye. Michiru has changed of clothes completely and standing stock still at my side. Her teeth are chattering violently.
悪魔の4バーが来た。
sambar from hell? What? The sambar from hell? I don't get it. For a vehicle from hell, it looks awful lot like your average Subaru sambar. Yeah, so it is a Subaru. Yeah, I'm glad I was right there. The body's still like new, so I'm having a hard time picturing it as a cursed vehicle whose previous owner died mysterious deaths.
で、誰が乗るの?
You know, it might not be the car that's cursed. It might be you. But when Amane asks for a companion, there's no immediate volunteer. The others exchange silent looks. Oh no. What's wrong? Why is everyone avoiding eye contact with Amane?
いや、その、私は乗らないわよ。誰か他の人が乗りなさいな。
It might be our time.
私も遠慮させてもらうわ。学園長、同乗させていただいて構わないかしら。
それは構いませんけど。ああ、ちょっとこーら、何勝手に乗り込んでんのよ。まだ誰が何に乗るか決まってないでしょ。失礼ね。そんなに私の横に乗るのが嫌なの？当たり前でしょ。前に私、あんたの運転するこの車の荷台で死ぬ目にあったのよ。
Why was she in the bed? Hey, Sachi, tell me, is Amane an irredeemably terrible driver?
いいえ、私は乗ったことないですけど、マキちゃんからはとても運転が上手だと聞いていますよ。
Ah, well, there's your problem. Makina's point of view on good driver is going to essentially be like Fast and Furious. That's a fact.
アマネはお家の仕事の手伝いで毎朝市場まで野菜とかお魚を買いに行く仕事をしていたから、
You know what?
とっても運転が上手なのよ。
I think I know what this is. This is called country driving. So like I said, I grew up somewhere that was fairly rural. Like I lived in a city, but it was like really small from what you probably picture as a city. For me, it felt very city enough, especially because, you know, I didn't have to work on a farm, but we were surrounded by like just tons of farms and fields. Essentially, it's a super cell for food development. Since it was very culturally relevant, and a country driver was often a kid who worked on one of these farms or even like had a family at these farms. When you have a big farm, oftentimes you need to be able to communicate or get like supplies and resources like out into the middle of your field to like, either repair a tractor or to go and tell somebody that they need to come back to the house for a phone call or something. Like there would be stuff that would require people to move fairly quickly. So oftentimes, because it's not on streets, like people would teach their younger kids to drive vehicles. They just had to stay on their farm because if you're not on a road and you're not technically a danger to other people, like there's no real enforcement for like an accident if you like were to have it there. So like oftentimes like I would go to school and there'd be like, you know, 12, 13, 14-year-olds who had been driving for months, if not years. And that's the thing though, is like the benefit. They learn to drive and get really comfortable behind the wheel of the car. The downside, they don't learn the typical rules first, so they tend to drive like freaking maniacs. And even when they do learn, they get this really high overconfidence that can manifest in some pretty sketchy stuff. In that case, why is all the color drained from Michiru's face at the mere thought of riding with her?
そりゃ車が苦手な子もいるのよさ。私、今日はチズチズの車がいい。椅子がふかふかしてるし。
So you're only interested in the nice car because it has cushy seats. Well, it makes sense to have the small people sit in the vehicle that has seats 5 of us. All right, Makina and Sachi, go ahead and get in the principal's car.
何勝手に決めてるのよ。私はアマネの隣は嫌よ。
I like how he's like, instead of volunteering himself, he's just like trying to force her, Michiru, to ride with her.
どっちでもいいからさっさと決めちゃってよ。
How on earth does Amane drive to inspire such violent rejection? I don't get it, but there's a siren going off in my mind, my cowardly instinct for self-preservation screaming, don't get in the truck. I see. Alright, let's decide with a nice impartial rock, paper, scissors match. That way no one's left with the hard feelings.
あんた、ずるしないでしょうね。
Would I have to? That'll be ridiculous. Alright, here goes. You know what, to mess with her, I'd be like, I would tell her, like, I'm gonna do rock. And just watch her choose scissors. Rock. BAM! I have no idea what just short-circuited Michiru's brain, but the intense instant of the word rock was out of my mouth, she vigorously threw out scissors. I was just doing rock, paper, scissors part. What are you jumping the gun for?
しかも負けてるし。はあ、バカな。そんな。
What happened?
こりゃもうあんたの反則負けね、みちる。観念して私の隣に乗りなさいな。いやー嘘でしょ !3 回勝負よね !3 回勝負でしょジタバタしないの。あんた、ユージより軽いし、あんたが乗った方が運転しやすいから。ほら、おいで。
Yeah, yeah.
引っ張らないで死んじゃう今度こそ死んじゃう平気平気今度は荷台じゃなくて助手席だから。ちゃんとベルトしとけばもう落っこちたりしないわよ。ほら、行くよ
Why was she in the back? You don't do that! She fell off the back of the truck. At the moment, I thought I understood the nature of Michiru's trauma, but I was still badly underestimating the full terror of Amane's driving. It would come to understand the truth later that day. Oh no. So yeah, just gonna say real quick though. Funny enough, coming from a country like where I grew up, it actually was completely legal to ride in the back of trucks. Like there was no law that, like technically, I think it was if you were on like highways and freeways, you could get in trouble, but it was barely enforced. Terrible idea. So, like, I knew people who died from rollovers riding in the backs of trucks. I'm a stalwart believer in seatbelts. I witnessed too many lives destroyed by that. Like, just the casual jumping in, not throwing your seatbelt on, riding in the back at a higher speed than, like even 20 miles an hour is way faster than you think it is. It's like, I've definitely ridden in the back of trucks before, and I got uncomfortable with it. But then as I saw those tragedies occur, I became really like against the idea unless it's like literally like right down the road or you're staying relatively slow because you're driving on like a dirt path or something. Even then, just gotta be careful. A little while into the pleasant journey at the beach, our two-vehicle convoy was weaving its way down a winding coastal road.
いやー、いい天気だね。絶好の海水浴日和じゃない？ねえ、みちる、あんた日焼け止めしてきた？今のうちにしておかないと、窓側の腕だけ日焼けするよ。
He's right.
うるさいわね。おとなしく前見て運転しなさいよ。
Please look at the road.
そんな必死に捕まらなくたって大丈夫よ。今日は学園長の車も一緒だし、のんびり走ってるじゃない。
But just then, a flashy sports car roars up noisily up behind us. Amane's mini truck and begins to tailgate.
なんか元気なのが来ちゃったな。うざいから道譲っちゃおうか。
Yes, the answer is always yes.
そうしよう。それがいいわ。相手にしちゃダメよ。いい？
She's like, please.
わかってるわよ。
As Amane flips on her turn signal and begins to pull over to the left, the sports car instantly pushes its way past her truck on the right, flashing its hazard light in greeting. But rather than pulling back into its lane, the sports car continues to power its way forward on the wrong side of the road, jumping past the principal's car as well. The car pushes its way sharply in front of the principal just as she's about to round a curve. She's forced to jam on the brakes hard enough to send up white smoke from her tires. Fetch me, that idiot! Leaving her car shaking unsteadily from side to side.
鬱陶しいから一気に抜きたかったんだろうけど、むちゃくちゃだな。ああいう子ってさ、自分が下手くそだってことに気がついてないんだね。
Pot calling kettle, I'm guessing?
そうね。車は安全運転が一番よね。
Uh-oh.
ねえ、みちる。ああいう子には、あんた下手くそだよって誰かが教えてあげた方がいいよね。
No.
は？ちょっと、あまね、やめてよ。何する気？だから教育？あんまおちょけとると死んでまうぞって教えてあげなきゃ。
No.
やめてよ。ちょっとだけだってば。ね？
Not waiting for a response, Amane stepped on the clutch and begins to downshift. While giving the truck a little gas, she smoothly drops from the 5th gear to 4th, then 3rd, and the next instant she mashed down the accelerator. Oh boy, yeah, that's a good way to leapfrog yourself.
行くぞー！そーれ！
By the way, how many of you can drive with a clutch? I can. It's actually really fun. For long trips, especially on the freeways, I actually think it's really annoying because you often, like, the cruise control is much more limited and it requires a lot more of, like, it's just constant, and you have to like, if you do a longer drive, you can get actually tired from it, like unless you really are like used to it. But when you're driving around town, it's actually really fun to drive with a clutch. The line of the supercharger grows all the more shrill. The 4-cylinder SOHC engine screams in protest, and the scrambler savagely accelerates as if stung by a whip. Yeah. How much you want to bet she's been working on this car and upgrading it?
Yeah!
Wait, the music. Wait, the music. Isn't this like a little mini motif reference to what's that driving anime called? The one that was really popular that had all the memes about it too. Gosh darn it, you're gonna grill me. I know its name, but I can't think of it right now. Drive. I know it. It's absolutely got to be based on that. It's like a spoof.
うるさいな。いいからほら、しっかり踏ん張ってないと頭でサイドウィンドウ割っちゃうよ。
The scrambler quickly flies past the principal's car. The needle of the RPM gauge mounted on the base of the A piler, soaring into the red zone within seconds.
ほら見えた。1800cc のタボ突き転がしといて、ケットラに追いつかれちゃダメじゃんねえ。
Uh huh.
ねえじゃないわよ。やめてって言ってるでしょ。追いついて何する気よ。
I'm so sorry, Michiru.
ケットラにお尻つっつかれればへこむかと思ったんだけど。
No.
あらら、県外ナンバーか。譲ってくれる気はないみたいだし、抜いちゃおうか。ちょっと抜くって嘘でしょ。この先の直線で横に出るよ。やめて。
I'm with Michiru here. I would absolutely be Michiru here, by the way. I can have an appreciation for fast cars. I can have an appreciation for fun driving. It looks great. I don't want anything to do with it. Michiru's piteous, heart-rending screams fall on deaf ears. As soon as she reaches the straightaway, Amane jams the accelerator to the floor. The white mini-truck accelerates like a bat out of hell, squeezing every drop of power from its engine. Its tires crawling at the hot asphalt, the somber surges forward. With the advantage of its light frame, Amane's truck smoothly pushes its way alongside the sports car in the blink of an eye. And running side by side, the two vehicles rush toward the hairpin curve at the end of the straightaway. There's other people on these roads!
突っ張るじゃん。でもいいのかな。この先のヘアピン、そのスピードで突っ込んだら死ぬぞ。嘘。やめてよ。平気平気、任しときなって。こっちのが車重は軽いんだし負けないから。
There's more. You're still traveling fast.
負ける負けないの話してないよね。ほらビビってアクセル抜いた。ダメじゃん、もっと突っ張れよ。
No.
ちょっとブレーキ。はあ、ある程度速度乗ってないとコーナーの途中で失速しちゃうよ。クリップはもっと奥に取って。ここギャー。2速に放り込みながらブレーキで姿勢作ったらアングル決めて、あとはベタ踏み。
Fair, she's got a decent idea of what she's doing, but still. Ah!
あらら、参ったな。リアがリフトして跳ねちゃってるよ。このフロントヘビーはなんとかならないのかな。
No!
無茶言わないでっていうかやめて。横向いてる横向いてるって突っ込んじゃう。下ろして。
I'm so sorry.
平気だって。
In a striking contrast to Amane's carefree, almost bored tone of voice, the guardrails draw steadily closer outside of Michiru's passenger seat window.
落ちる落ちる。だから平気だってば。アクセル踏んでるうちはちゃんと曲がってくから。ここでビビってアクセル抜いたらそれこそ落っこちるわよ。ほら出口が見えた。あらよっと。おっと、立ち上がりで痛恨のシフトミス。かっちょ悪い。
No!
落ちなかった。奇跡。大丈夫だって言ってんじゃん。一度姿勢作ってアングル決めたら、あとはハンドルから手を離しても勝手に曲がってくんだからさ。
I'd be
見て
crying.
て。じゃあもう一回やるね。
I would be crying.
やるなー。ほらほら見てね。ほらほら。本当に手を離すな。このドアホ。ちゃんと前見て運転しろ。もうこの時点で自分が進んでいく方向は見えてるし。進入ミスでライン外して落っこちるときはコーナー入った瞬間にわかるから、心配しなくても落ちる前にちゃ
Are
ん
you
と落ちる
literally
よって
closing
言う
your
わよ。
eyes? She can't be.
うるせえ。
I'd be the same.
ちょっとやだみちる、あんた泣いてんの？
I'd be crying too. The Samba from hell. That white devil is no myth. And Amane, manipulating that demon as though it were an extension of her limbs, makes her way to the beach, burning not only gallons of gasoline, but years off Michiru's life. I mean, it's impressive, gotta admit, pretty cool that she could do that, but you should never, it'd be so, no. When our group arrives at the beach by means of the principal's steady, steady driving, we find two of them waiting for us, their faces in a study of contrasts. One hand, Amane sticking her tongue playfully out of her mouth toward us, as if to say, I kind of overdid it, tee-hee. And the other hand, Michiru stands gazing into the distance with unfocused eyes, the look of a very picture of a Buddhist, enlightened soul, as if nothing in the world had to offer could ever frighten her again. From my perspective in the principal's car, Amane's sudden acceleration had been a bit of a surprise, but we lost sight of her car almost immediately, so the incident didn't leave that strong of an impression at the time. But when Michiru whispered those hoarse, toneless words, I understood that she had known hell, and would forever bear the scars to prove it. Blazing sun harsh enough to burn the skin, salty sea air thick enough to choke on. For a bunch of greenhouse flowers isolated in a sheltered campus, occasional stimulation of this sort is probably a healthy thing. And what a good-looking beach. Would not be empty, but be a good beach. After unpacking our things from the cars, we set up a beach towel and umbrella to establish a base camp. A few feet away from Michiru sits motionless in the burning sand, limp as a rag doll. Aww.
海だ。
She's reverted. It's all too apparent that the ferocious horizontal G-forces and rapid shifts in momentum she experienced inside of Amane's white devil jarred Michiru's internal organs. Her powerless and sepid smile suggests the possibility of brain damage. Mumbling childish words, she resembles nothing as much as an abandoned soldier wasting away from Danube fever, her glazed eyes seeming to be gazing at the gates of nirvana. It's a truly pitiful spectacle. I bite my lower lip and avert my eyes. I'm guessing. Michiru, can you hear my voice? I call out to her, but there's no response. Fortunately, in the next moment, an experienced orderly appears to assume caretaking duties.
みちる様、まだご気分が優れませんか？
ああ、放っておいて。すぐ元気になるから。私のことは置いていって、先に進んで。
She really does sound like a soldier.
そうは申されましても、こんな場所でぼーっとしていては熱中症になってしまいますよ。せめて水着に着替えましょう。私が海の家までお連れいたしますから。
バー。
Oh. As Michiru mules like a dispirited goat, Sachi wraps both her arms around her from behind and begins to drag her off to the beach like a sack of potatoes. A familiar scene, but at this point, Sachi's clearly pretty used to the job herself.
というわけで、私たちは海の家で着替えてくるけど。
You're just not going to comment on what you just did to your fellow classmate? Yeah, I'll stay here and look after the stuff.
そう、じゃあすぐに戻るからお願いね。
Got it. As a man, getting down to my swim trunks is a simple matter of taking off my outer clothing on the spot, but I guess girls tend to want more privacy. Of course, it might be pushing it a little bit to refer to the eldest member of our group as a girl. And there's a certain female cyborg amongst us who would probably respond to the words, let's get changed, with an immediate certainly, then instantly beginning stripping off her maid uniform. Not to mention the shrimp who'd fling her hands into the air and cheerfully shout, take him off for me! And rounding out the set, a ludicrously top-heavy, totally shameless big sister type who'd try putting on her swimming suit into a free show for every male on the beach. Now that I think about it, Sakaki's actually seems like the most normal of the bunch. Weird.
私が何か？
Oh, we didn't even, yeah. That didn't take long. It isn't Sakaki Imiko. Mihama's exemplar of normality.
何それ？皮肉のつもり？
No, that's honestly what I think. Basically, you're not much fun. A sober woman, right down to the design of your swimming suit. But that's honestly what suits you best. You look good. I agree. That's a nice looking swimming suit.
あなたに言われなくても地味なのは自分で理解しているわ。
Do you have to think? I don't get
そう
that.
やってバカにしていればいいのよ。
Okay, genuinely, did you... guys and girls, there are girls apparently that watch the channel. Like, I know that it's just a small percentage, but you know, because that's what the fun of analytics lets me see is a guesstimate, and it's like male 95%, which is not surprising. But hey, you know, welcome everybody. So guys, girls, anybody there, what do you think of her swimming suit? Like, here, because they're calling this modest. I don't know if I necessarily would call it that, for one, because it's kind of like a halfway, and number two, is this supposed to be like a shameful thing to not be wearing just a straight bikini? Because I think swimming suits of all types look good, really. Like, there's very few that are just like, ugh, like, no. And I also think it all comes down to personal taste. If you are comfortable in your swimming suit, that's all that matters, because it looks great. Like, she looks fantastic. Wasn't my intention to make fun of you. I said you look good, didn't I?
地味で面白みがないって言ったわ。
What's wrong with sober? You're not wearing the swimming suit to get laughs, are you? The look fits you perfectly, Sakaki.
そう。なら、いいわ。
Hey, what? Hold on, where are you going all of a sudden?
何？
We're not on school grounds today, so everyone's acting as a group. Don't just wander off by yourself.
海の家でサマーベッドを借りたから、向こうの木陰で本を読むわ。
I hope you intended, like, I always think that's a shame when people go to a beach and then don't get in the water at all. I mean, I might get it. It can be kind of smelly, but like at the same time, like it's a beach. You don't get to go there all the time. Sakaki, we came all the way out here to the beach, right? You can read whenever you want.
これからみんなで何かをするの？
No, nothing in stone yet, but...
決まったら呼んでちょうだい。
Hey, guess a change of location isn't enough to get that girl to play well with others.
あれは照れてるんじゃないかな。
Now this is what I'm not surprised. Are you sure that this is something you weren't wearing maybe like 3 years ago? You're barely contained. Why would she be?
ユージが水着を褒めたりするからだよ。
Okay. Like, we'll get a picture of it. I don't know what thumbnail's gonna go up here, but my gosh, I don't think YouTube is gonna like that. Oh, I see. Incidentally, care to explain that thing? Looks like it's looking to get laughs.
変かなこれ。
I'm not sure if that's the right word, but just what kind of swimming suit is that? No, does that thing even qualify as a swimming suit in the first place? Seems more like a few pieces of string.
ああ、確かに欠陥品かも。これ動くと横から胸がこぼれちゃうのよね。
Maybe that's not a good fit then. That's because you're wearing it so loosely. Why don't you tighten up the top?
それがさ、あんまりきつく縛ると、こう、おっぱいがぽよっとはみ出すっていうか、なんか無駄にエロくなるっていうか、お歳暮のハムみたいだしさ。
Well, if you don't... Whatever. Go ahead. Where you want. I don't care. Just seems like you're making your own problems. Huh. Well, in your case, I guess anything but sexy swimsuits would have to feel like a letdown in terms of character consistency.
でしょ？ねえ、どう？似合ってる？
Well, yes, it certainly has an appropriate choice, to the point that it's hard to imagine anybody but you wearing it. I'm not the biggest personal fan, again, because, like, it's clearly, like, defective, essentially. Like, she's complaining about how it's not giving, like, proper support or, like, a look and feel that what she's comfortable with. But why is she wearing it? That's, like, weird. But, you know what? To each their own. Whatever. That's really nothing to giggle about. Wait, Amane, you started snacking already?
ああ、これ？海の家で着替え終わって出てきたら、お店の人がタダでくれたんだもの。焼きとうもろこし食べる？
You know what? Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it's doing exactly what it's intended. Tell me, why do you always eat rod-shaped things like when you're auditioning for softcore porno? Do you really need to lick and slurp your way around with it like dirty gleam in your eye?
エッチな顔してるかな？
You didn't know? You mean you were doing it unintentionally? Alright, try eating some. We'll do a little test.
おいしい。
YouTube, she's eating corn, okay? It's nothing else. Amane slightly pumped lips crawl around the surface of the corn every once in a while with a light pant of breath through her nose. She sinks her teeth in with an expression of ecstasy. You're trying at this point. Anime gods, I both bless and curse this day. Hold it, Amane. Take a look around you. Amane's white teeth peek out from between her pink lips as she separates her mouth from the corn with a wet pop. Looking around her, she finds every male nearby red from ear to ear, stealthily shooting glances in her direction. Here and there, a young man conspicuously covering their groin dashes desperately towards the sea in search of escape. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. It's like, no, please, no. You don't, but it's like things are gonna happen and you don't have any say. And you're like, no.
あれなんでみんなこっち見てんの
Because you're eating that thing in a very weird way.
そう変かな誰がどう見てもフェラしてるようにしか見えないのよさ
Right on the head. Well, pfft, I just realized that. Oh no, that was unintended. Look, I was tiptoeing around that for a reason. How about a little sympathy for all the poor guys who just jerk their eyes away awkwardly?
なことよりどう私セクシーじゃね
Black is it? Pretty bold color selection. Is it? I mean, kinda. But then, I don't know.
黒は女を妖艶に見せるのよアマネに選んでもらったのよさへへいいでしょうデザイン一緒で色違いなんだよ
It makes so much sense now. Well, it's not the big problem in Makina's case, but I really think you should have chosen something with a little more cloth, Amane.
そう
And even as you speak, your tees are beginning to fall out of your top.
やばこぼれる
Get back in there! Wear a proper one. You can get very sexy but properly fitting swimming suits. As for Makina, your stomach's kind of poking out there, you know.
おこのぼっこりしたお腹が可愛いってアマネは言ってたのよ下手に隠すより思い切ってお腹出しちゃって黒い水着でコントラストつけた方が目立たないでしょ
Huh, well, guess that's more your style, Makina, so it's all good. Hey, look, she's sounding a bit more awake. Where's that ominous sound coming from? Sounds like something's dragging itself across the sand, and that moan, a bitter woe. What on earth?
私みちるちょっとあんた大丈夫なのもう少し休んでた方が冗談じゃないわよせっかく海に来たのに休んでなんか
Whoa! I was swallowing at the worst time there. That was good. Okay. It's sad, but like that I want to hear it again.
冗談じゃないわよせっかく海に来たのに休んでなんか
I love it. Okay, so I had a roommate a while ago, back in like 2010, 2011, and it was great. He had a really ironic name, but I'm not gonna say it because, you know, privacy but stuff. But like, he had a really interesting thing where he could do all kinds of stuff. He was a farmer when he was growing up. He'd you know, help, you know, like put animals down when it needed to happen. He'd done all kinds of field work. He'd seen plenty of like, you know, just nature being nature, right? But for some weird reason, he had a really strong gag reflex to very certain things. And one of the things is that a blast sound, like some kind of sound that sounded like you were about to throw up. It would make him gag, and not just like a like I feel sick. It's like literal gag. Like to one point where we were messing with him and we were all doing the like doing fake noises like that, and he just went just barfed all over the bushes. Like it was so bad. We felt really bad because like at first we just liked making him like go, like all like he'd get all like dry mouthy and very like he would be clearly in like some distress, but we thought he was like he was just hamming it up for like the laughs. Didn't realize it was literally making him want to puke.
チルしっかり海はもうすぐそこなのよ
Michiru takes one quavering step forward, then crumbles on the spot. Without missing a beat, she begins to crawl her way toward the water, crawling a sandy beach for traction. What is it about the sea that drives her to such lengths? Yeah, also, she's gonna drown.
海
Oh yeah, remember? We were sitting on the cliff edge with her and she talked about how beautiful she finds the ocean. She loves the water. Like, specifically the sea.
すごい執念ね。
Having come to the beach, I think she feels obligated to enjoy it to the fullest, even if it literally kills her. Before long, Michiru's strength fails her. Her valiant struggle comes to a halt. Lying flat on her side, she begins to gnash her teeth and bewail her weakness. Aww.
チルチル泣いてるのよさ。なんだろうこの既視感。
それはきっと先週のレイブ教授のアメイジングアニマルで番組後半にやってたウミガメの産卵のシーンじゃないかな。
Ah, gotcha. By the way, Sachi, very cute choice.
おーい、そうそう、それそれ。卵を産み終えたウミガメのお母さんが海に帰るシーンにそっくりなのよさ。チルチル、頑張って。
頑張って。
私、ウミガメじゃないわよ。産んで。うまーん。だから私はガメじゃないってのよ。
みちる様、何か私にお手伝いできることはないですか？
情けは無用よ。私は意地でも自力で海へ。おお、なかなかの根性な。じゃあチルチルのことはほっといて。
待ってマキちゃん。若い人は元気があっていいわね。
Interesting, principal. Very kind of old school, but cute. Come on, Chizuzu. You're still young yourself.
またそんな見えすいたお世辞を言って。
What? You don't want my flattery? If so, it's less work for me, so no skin off my nose.
どうしてそういう意地悪を言うんです？
Well, I thought really like there's a good answer to that. Sorry, that wasn't my real intention. Truth is, I've always been the childish sort of guy who teases girls who try to get their attention. Haven't grown out of it yet.
ずるい子。
Guilty as charged.
おーい、ユージー。
ほら、呼んでるわよ。行ってきたら？
You aren't going to swim, Chizuzu?
私はいいわ。荷物番してるから、あなたは行ってきなさいな。
But I'm the one who invited you to the beach. Doesn't really seem right to just leave you alone.
教員相手に真面目な顔してそういうこと言わないの。
I think he's genuine, though. Not trying to be pushy here, but my master always told me to give women 2 chances to say yes. Why don't we swim together, Chizuzu?
私、泳げないのよ。
That's unfortunate. Want me to teach you?
嬉しいけど、それはまた今度ね。
Also, the ocean is a terrible place to learn. Even on the calmest day, it will be terrifying. Alright, in that case, I'll see you later.
はい、いってらっしゃい。
She's officially our chaperone, and I guess it's understandable that she can't romp around with her students, but we came all the way out here for this nice beach, right? I don't think anyone would complain if she floated around a bit. But when I looked back, the principal's sitting under the beach parasol with one arm wrapped around her knees, fluttering a hand to urge me away. With a small shrug, I turned my back on her and head for the sea.
学園長の方はもういいの？
Not a problem. I'll give her a nice pat on the ass later. More importantly, did you need me for something?
ねえユージ、あんた泳げる？
Well, enough.
どのぐらいのレベルで？
Kind of hard to say exactly. Let me see. I'm good enough to earn a C card diving qualification, I guess. When I was in America, I picked up a good number of diving credentials. Even after returning to Japan, I did a bit of rowboating training during a group of combat engineers. I'm nowhere near the level of the specialized divers from the Special Ops branch, but for far more typical purposes, there shouldn't be any problem with my ability to handle myself in the water. It's been a while since I last swam in the ocean, but I don't anticipate any difficulties. Funny enough too, like I'm actually a pretty solid swimmer as well. Like that was one of my actual talents. Like I was never fast, especially because I was a much larger individual. But I was always good with the side of the stamina and endurance. I could keep going and swimming and not really needing breaks for a long time. And I even did I did like a swim challenge where we like had to swim across like a small lake. And I was able to do it. Like I was able to cross this. It wasn't like it was like a mile or 2, I think. I was able to do it though. But again, I was practicing for that. I don't know if I could do that today, but I've always been a decent swimmer.
じゃあさ、マキナに水泳を教えてあげてくれないかな？
I don't mind, but my lessons tend to be pretty severe, you know. How about you teach her instead, Amane?
いや、私もできればそうしたいんだけどね。
You also can't swim? What? You can't swim either?
泳げないっていうか、泳ぐと水着が脱げちゃうっていうか、ポロリとこぼれちゃうというか。
What is the point of a swimming suit that can't get in the water? It's actually what I'm saying. Like, look, like I understand. You want to look a certain way, go for it. I don't care. But now it's interfering with your ability to do things. Like, that can't be good. For future reference, a swimming suit should generally be something you can actually capable of swimming in.
私も油断してっとパイオツがポロリしちゃうのよさ。
Really? Yes, because the cloth barely has anything to catch on. The same problem. But you know no shame, shrimp.
失敬だな。これでも一応脇の下の全肉寄せ集めてんのよ。
Can you explain to me how I'm supposed to teach the girl anything with her swimming suit's gonna fall off after a few strokes?
だからさ、軽くコツみたいなものをゆるっと教えてあげればそれでいいのよ。今日は遊びに来てんだから、あんま本気にならないでいいんじゃない？
Huh, such carelessness has led to many watery graves.
そうやって何でも真剣に向き合うのは悪いことじゃないけど、たまには何も考えずに遊んでみたらどうなの？
It'd be like trying to tell him not to be Yuuji. Easier said than done.
まあまあ、とりあえず浮き輪もあるし、沖まで行こうよ。そしたらおっぱい触らしてあげるのよ。
I'm not interested in that. And why would I do that?
じゃあ私のも触らせてあげるからさ。ほらほら。
What? Hey, you're pushing, woman.
貧乳だけどツンと上を向いたあたい。
What universe is this?
巨乳な上に乳輪大きめでかなりエロいあたい。
Okay. I don't know if I can speak for everybody here, but I'm gonna say this. Everyone's got their own appeal. There's no specific things that make things really erotic in any particular way. It's all personal taste and personal preference and personal what you got. You can make anything work. Especially for a guy. We're very not picky.
さあ、どっち？
I'm not going to decide anything.
つまり両方欲しいと。もうお兄ちゃんたら欲しがりね。エッチ。
Hey, so like we covered in Knights of the Republic 2, apathy is death. Say what you want. Aww.
海にたどり着けないなら、せめて砂遊びだけでも満喫してやるんだか
So sad.
よろしいのですか？
ら。何がよ。
みちる様がそうして砂と戯れている間に、かなみさんはおっぱいにつられて行ってしまいますよ。
Wait, what?
こんな立って歩くこともできない状態で私にどうしろってのよ。
Aww.
一言手を貸せとお申し付けいただければすぐにでもお力添えできますが。
What do you have, like a medicine?
いいわよ。どうせ胸じゃAmaneには勝てないし。
わかりました。みちる様がそこまでおっしゃられるのであれば、この小峰幸
Allow me
喜んでみちる様の砂遊びに加わらせていただきます。
Allow me to join you in the sand.
サチ、こんなウミガメにも劣る私に優しくしてくれるなんて、あんたやっぱりいいやつだったのね。
Aww.
私のことはいいんです。それより頑張って原寸大プラハ城を作りましょう。
Oh no.
私も頑張ってプラハ城を作る。って原寸大？
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
プラハ城は現在のチェコ共和国にあるお城で、長さは約570メートル、平均幅は約130メートルで、世界で最も古くて大きなお城の一つとしてギネスブックにも載っています。
There's not even that much room on this beach.
それ作れるの？
大丈夫です。お城の外観は完璧に覚えてきましたから。
Oh my gosh.
いや、そういう問題じゃなくてね。
さあ、みちる様、まずは下地となるフラッチャニの丘の再現から始めましょう。
お願いだから作るのはもっと簡単なものにして。
Ah,
ねえ、もうだいぶ沖まで来たんだし、そろそろいいんじゃない？
yeah, guess you're right. Let's begin swimming lesson. Oh, I was looking at the two. I was like, what does that say? I was expecting French, but no, it's the Fruit of Grisaia. Well, I guess it is kind of French. Le Fruit de la Grisaia. Like, the fruit of the Grisaia. That's funny. What's that supposed to mean? It's what we're out here for.
まあいいけど。
No, wait. Did she really, like... she's like, hey, we're pretty good way for the shore now. Want to get started? That's right, let's get to the swimming lesson. Oh, that? She literally thought we were going to be out here for an... Why? Good grief, you could just ask. Like, he's the kind of guy, if you literally said, like, hey, I literally want you to do this right now, he'd probably be like, oh, okay. Okay, Makina, tell me, can you put your face underwater?
おい、そんぐらいは寮のお風呂で毎日やってんのよさ。あまね、ちょっと浮き輪持ってて。いいけど、何すんの？見よ、必殺だるま浮き。だるま浮きって何？
Yeah, what is that? What? You don't know it? You learn that float in elementary school swimming class.
え？そうなの？うちの地元じゃそんなのやらなかったけどな。
Really? Interesting.
どうなのよ。
Alright then, can you pull off a jellyfish float?
今度はクラゲ？
Where the turtle float involves pulling your knees up to your chest, the jellyfish float has you dangle your limbs loosely down like the corpse of an Indian soldier carried along in the Yagachi River. Okay, that's actually kind of fun. So, I didn't know what he was describing there. It was like curling up in a ball. It's interesting because, like the only way that you can float doing that is if you inhale, like, you fill your lungs full of air, and you're not going to actually float. You're, like, going to be, like, right underneath the surface, which, you know, is kind of what they were implying there, which is funny. But it's like, I'm not sure why you would do that. Like, it's not the best way to float, maybe? I don't know. But this, what he's describing here, the jellyfish one, is actually a survival one. Where it's about, like, trying to... Because if you're, like, stranded in the middle of the ocean or something, and you have to float under your own power, you need to maximize your energy because, like, the longer you can last, the more likely you can find or get help. And so the idea of the jellyfish is that you take a breath, hold it, and you just let yourself relax. And you sink, and you'll kind of bob with your head, like, kind of touching the top of the water. And, like, with your lung, again, your chest cavity becomes like a flotation device. It's just not enough to keep you, like, super buoyant, but it's enough. And then you spread your arms and legs out, and you just let them relax. And then when you need air, you can push your arms and legs, like, together, like, and you'll just bob just out of the water, and you put your head up, and you take a breath, and you just resume. And that way, you're only using your muscles occasionally. It's a great way to maintain energy.
なんとなくわかるけど、他の言い方はなかったのかな。
Alright, Makina, try to feel the bitter regret and stubborn pride of a freedom fighter, gunned down by the colonialists before your dream of an independent nation could be realized. Yes, good.
何がいいのかさっぱりわからないし、これって楽しいの？
You must understand. I am just ridiculous, but Makina just goes for it, so we have this weird synergy. Okay, next up we'll do a dead man's float. Tuck your chin towards your chest, extend your limbs straight out, and keep yourself horizontal, consciously keeping yourself slim and streamlined, like you become a submarine. Yep, that's another good one, just like floating on your back.
急速先行！
Open the...
ペンと開け！
Those are actual, like, submarine terms. Oh, looking pretty good. However, your butt's floating up a bit. Main tank, short bow. Main tank, short blow.
ちょいブロー！
Take her down 16. Up peer scope.
あのさ、泳ぎを教えてるんだよね。
Oh, yes, what about it? Look at that, she's maintaining a beautiful horizontal. You can float this well, it's just as good as swimming.
そうかな。
At this point, you're just moving your limbs in addition to the floating. You seem dubious about it, but can you do the same? I kind of get the feeling you wouldn't be able to keep up this level of float. Well, with those oversized ballast tanks.
何よそれ。
Yeah, that's the weight differential, being able to, like, offset, keep your buoyancy level.
パイオツのことなのよさ。なんかお風呂に浮かべたザボンのようにでかいからバランス悪いのよ。
Yeah.
きっと。
It's actually, though, it's interesting because, like, the strange economy is, like, you, like, having stacks of essentially fat. It's kind of interesting because fat is very buoyant. In fact, if you're, like, the more fat you have, the easier it is for you to float. But then at the same time, it also increases weight, which makes it harder for you to float. So it kind of depends. I think for Amane's case, based on my experience, it would actually mean that she would have a harder time diving than she would floating, because she has her body's fairly proportional, where she's got like she's got her largeness, but most of her is still very slim.
まあ確かに足の方から沈むわね私。
Yeah, that unfortunately is a truth though.
なんかさっきから顔出したまま平泳ぎしてるけど、もしかしてあまね潜れない人？いいでしょ、潜れなくても泳げれば。
Interesting. I can understand not wanting to because it's uncomfortable, but
あまねは脂肪が多いから沈まないのよさ。脂肪って言うなもう。
hey.
ねえサチ、あんたさっきから何やってるの？
Burying you.
みちる様が作るなら簡単なものをとおっしゃったので砂山を作っているんです。
それはわかるんだけど、どうしてそれを私のまたぐらに作る必要が？
私考えたんです。
What earth is this gonna be? I can't wait.
負ける誘惑はしない。それがツンデレの生まれ持った生き様だとしたら、あまねさんの胸に勝つにはもはや穴で勝負するしかないのではないかと。
The temptation of the hole.
穴？
はい、穴です。つまりは女性器のことですね。
女性器？
つまりですね、力尽きて身動きの取れないみちる様の股間付近に山を作ってトンネルを掘り、女性器にダイレクトアクセスできる穴を作って、そこに風見さんを誘い込むのです。
What the? What?
サチ、あんた何言ってんの？
はい、先日読んだ本にこんなことが書いてありました。
What book are you reading?
セキュリティの弱点を隠すには、もっとわかりやすい穴を用意し、そちらに注意を向けさせる。つまり貧相な胸を隠そうと思ったら穴で釣るのです。
It's like watching Sun Tzu crash into a visual novel, and I don't know what to make of it.
何を言ってるの？暑いから？暑さでついに頭が。
やめてください。私は正常です。
No.
どこが？
これも思い出作りですよ。この夏何か素敵な思い出を海で作ってみませんか？
This is not how you make good memories.
何その安っぽいキャッチコピー。そんなんで、そうだ、穴で男を誘い込もうって思う人なんていないわよ。
ご覧ください、みちる様。この壮大な海を。
いや、まあ壮大だけれども。
こうして海を見ていると、小さなことにこだわっていた自分がどうでもよくなってきますよね。
No significance.
いや、まあ言わんとすることは理解できないわ
I
け
feel
で
like
もないけれ
Sachi's
ど。
weaponizing her own limitations against her.
そこで穴です。
なんで？
そう。
さあって。
とりあえず作ってみますね。穴。
I will begin the construction.
ギャー！本当に作るな！
What is this?
なんだかドキドキしますね。子供の頃に公園で近所の男の子と砂遊びした時のことを思い出します。
That's horrifying. No.
大きな砂山を互いに反対側から掘り進み、中間地点で手が入る。
Oh.
そんな甘いときめきが。
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's fine. I'm gonna die. This game is going to kill me. Or my channel. One of the two.
あれ？今何かが私の手に。
Why?
入った。
ダメ！そこはリアルにダメ！
何かこうぴょこっとした突起
Oh
が。
my gosh.
いや、グリグリするな！それはグリグリしちゃダメ！
はい。ではもう少し下
No!
の方へ。
そこはダメ！入る！指が入れちゃう！
Oh, you YouTube is never gonna forgive this one. Also, this is definitely crossing a line.
なんでしょう、指がすごく温かいです。何かほっとするような温かさが。
嘘。
狭くてヌルヌルしてて、奥に何か
Oh my gosh.
コリッとしたもの
This
が。
isn't happening.
そっか。何。ダメ。そこ引っかえちゃう。
It's been nice having this channel. It's great. I was looking forward to like having it for a long time. You know what? New year, maybe it's time to start a different hobby. Like, maybe I could start from the ground up, right when this one gets deleted because of this video. Like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I can just start over.
今何か熱いものがじわっと吹き出して。みちる様、どうかされましたか？何やらお顔の色が真っ赤ですが。
サチあんたわざとやってんじゃないでしょうね。
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
熱いのでしょうか？でしたら今すぐに酸っぱいお飲み物を。
あんたが熱くしたんでしょうが。つうか酸っぱいもの持ってこんな。
Like a sane person.
冷たいものでしょうが普通。
はい、では今すぐ海水を。
No.
なんで海水よ。
いえ、酸っぱいものがダメならしょっぱいものではどうかと。
なんでよ。いいからなんか冷たいもの。
はい、ただいますぐにお持ちいたします。
うわ、ちょっと待ちなさいよ。その前にこの穴を塞いで。お姉ちゃん何してんの？
Oh no.
うるさい子供、話しかけんな。私は子供が大嫌いなのよ。
大ごっこ？
はあ？あんたその年で耳が遠いの？私はあっち行けって言ってんのよ。しっし、私が動けないと思って舐めてんじゃないわ
I'm
よ。
getting nervous about that crab.
お姉ちゃんカニ好き？
Oh
あの
no.
ね、これさっき向こうで捕まえたの。カニ見たい？
I don't like where this is going.
カニだー？知らないわよ。いいからあっち行きなさいよ。
ほらカニ、かわいいでしょ？
はいはい、かわいいわね。どう？これで満足？気が済んだらどっか行け。
Oh
カニさん逃げ
no.
ちゃった。待ってカニさん。
てめえふざけんな。カニが登ってきた。うわ、こらさっさと捕まえなさいよ。
カニさんが穴の中に逃げ
ちょっと穴ってまさか。うわー、取って早くカニ取って。
待ってね、今穴の中に手を。
What on? Again. Oh,
寂しい。
Aww.
ねえ榊さん、あなたさっきからそうしてずっと本を読んでいるけれど、海には入らないの？
ええ、自分から進んで入ろうとは思いませんね。
どうして？誰かが誘ってくれるのを待っているの？
別にそういうわけではありませんし、誘われたところで何らかの理由をつけて断ると思います。
Glad that we're here in Normalville after that.
せっかく海に来たのに。
そうおっしゃられる学園長はなぜ海に入らないのですか？
私泳げないのよ。さすがにこの年でイリスさんと一緒にバタ足の練習をするわけにもいかないでしょ。
つまり技能的な問題で海には入れないというわけですね。
まあそういうことになるかしらね。
私は精神的な問題で海には入りたくないんです。
Right.
精神的というと、海に何か嫌な思い出でも？
いいえ、温室育ちを自白するようで恥ずかしいのですが、ただ単純に海はなんだか不衛生な気がして入りたくないんです。
Interesting.
あ それはなんだかわかるような気がするけど、だったらどうして海に行こうって話が出た時に反対しなかったのかしら。
I'm pretty sure she tried, but again, I think the principal's implying that, like, you could have just said no and everyone would have had to listen to you. Your dad owns the school.
それは普通に仲間意識というか、これでも一応わがままなお嬢様と思われないような努力をしているつもりです。
一人で反発して品種を買うのも嫌だし、かといって仲間外れにされるのもごめん被ると。
そうです。おかしいですか？
いいえ、ただあなたを見ているとなんだか昔の自分を見ているようで面早いわね。
Oh, interesting.
子供じみた真似をしているという自覚はあります。笑わないでください。
No, she's not.
笑ってなんかいないわ。でもそうね、あなたには必殺の言葉を教えてあげましょう。
What?
必殺？
ええ、必殺。私が学生の頃友達に教わったのだけれど、結局一度も口にしたことはないわ。
一度も口にしたことがないのに必殺なんですか？
ええ、だからあなたが試してみてくれない？
はあ。
What words are those? Up, evening.
遊んだ遊んだ、たっぷり遊んでお腹が減ったのよさ。晩ご飯まだ？
I think this is where we're gonna end for today. I know it's not the greatest, but at the same time, we definitely got a lot of fun and stuff. I'm gonna have to process that for a while. That was something. That was something. But we're gonna go ahead and end it here because it's time to take a break. We can kind of enjoy what we just were privy to, and then we'll be able to see the fantastic conclusion to our sea adventure next week. So that'll be fun. I like the music, nice and chill. I'm very excited to see what this all goes. I'm interested to see how all this pans out and kind of how everyone's feeling from the beach trip. Hopefully Michiru's feeling better. I'm gonna just move on from there. Not gonna say anything else. Everything else was just really fun. It was really interesting seeing Amane and the driving. Like, not what I expected from her. It kind of fits, but at the same time, like, it seems like she's like someone you would see on Top Gear or something, which is crazy. Amane would make a fantastic host for Top Gear, though. Like, come to think of it. Everyone else, though, it looked like they were able to have some fun. They were able to do their own thing, and I'm kind of wondering if we're going to be able to do a group activity, because so far we haven't seen that, or maybe we just won't cover it, but it would be nice to see everyone getting together and doing something. So, yeah. All in all, though, an interesting trip. Interesting's the word, isn't it? Yeah. If YouTube hasn't destroyed my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed that. I did, even though I saw my channel's life flash before my eyes, but, you know, we'll work past that. But all in all, pretty fun. I'm excited to see what the future holds. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great start to your new year. I mean, this is like the precipice of New Year's at this point. So yeah, I hope you all have some fun plans, and that as we jump into the new year, we can have a fresh start. We can hopefully see some good things happen this year. I'm tired of lots of bad things. I want to see good. You know, a big part of what makes good things happen wherever you are is you. It might feel like you can't do much, but the little you can do can go a long way. So just keep that in mind. Whether it's for yourself, for your family, or for your country, or for the world at large, like, no effort's wasted. And it's better to have your voice be heard than not. So whatever comes, whatever happens, whatever challenges we face, I hope we can jump into it together. You know, if in some small way I can help, I'd love to. So if my videos can somehow do that much good, then I'm all for it. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, especially for the patrons and members, but for anybody who's watching the video, all of you are amazing. I couldn't trade anything. I wouldn't trade any of this for anything in the world. So here's to 2024. Until next video watching me, you'll see me next. I'll see you there.